work. Let's get to work, boy. I got work to do. We got work to do. Let's get to work, baby. What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Plain Traverse, say hi. What's poppin'? What's poppin'? What's poppin', my people? We about to get into it, man. This shit crazy. This shit crazy. What's poppin'? What poppin'? What it do? What it do? Hello, first from me. What's get it? What's get it? What's good? What's good? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? The true rock star. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Haven't seen you in a long. Happy you well. Oh yeah. What's poppin', Chef? We're here every day. What's good, bro? What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Salute, salute. I'm from New York City. What's happening? Man, this shit crazy. This shit crazy. What's up? What's poppin'? U-Town, what's poppin'? Let's get into it, man. What's poppin', Dr. T? Long time no see. What's poppin'? Happy 1st of the month to my people, October 1st. First live I caught with you, but I love your videos. I appreciate you. How you doing? I'm from Detroit. I'm good, I'm good. It's the 1st of the month, you know. I'm about to take my energy to the next level this month. So a lot of lives, a lot of videos, just a lot of content. BR Louisiana, what's poppin'? Deontay, what's poppin'? From BR, shout out to Louisiana. Hit the like button, appreciate you. I just moved from the Bronx, not far from there. Man, it's crazy. Love the messages, bro. I wouldn't know as much. Hey, I appreciate you. That's my job. That's my job. You are the truth. I appreciate you. OG Main, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody in this live. Let's get right to it, man. Let's get right to it. Let's get right to it.
Felt it? It's like, luckily I asked somebody, I said, was there any injuries? No injuries occurred. Luckily everybody was able to get safely out. But as far as feeling and the intensity in it, it's like going downstairs, you can barely go downstairs. Everybody's trying to go downstairs. People got babies. People ain't got no shoes on. They ain't got no coats, no hats. It's cold outside.
What's poppin'?
It was like 8 of us. We all, my mom came knocking on my door and we just all escaped and ran as soon as possible. I didn't have no shoes, nothing. We just ran as soon as possible because it sounded very urgent. Like,
Nobody hurt.
no one got hurt. No.
We just heard a boom. It sounded like a bomb. So then after that, like, once it happened,
So, you know, when you was younger or before 2020, because I told y'all, after 2020, a lot of our minds changed. We started looking at stuff deeper. But before 2020, you know, they can kind of get away with a lot of this stuff. But now that you sit and think about it, I listen to everything people say. Even I did a video about the church shooting. Dude drove his truck into the church, and the people said it sounded like a bomb. And I said it's because it was a bomb. And this dude said the same thing. It sounded like a bomb. But we're gonna go down that road because I did some research about the history of the Bronx and what they did to the buildings and stuff like that. I told y'all, bro, history repeats itself all the time. It repeats itself all the time. Dude said it sounded like a bomb. Check it out. Check it out. If I can click it.
Going and you felt it? It's like, Luckily, I asked somebody, I said, was there any injuries? No injuries occurred. Luckily, everybody was able to get safely out. But as far as feeling and the intensity in it, it's like going downstairs. You can barely go
Exactly.
downstairs. Everybody's trying to go downstairs. People got babies. People ain't got no shoes on. They ain't got no coats, no hats. It's cold outside.
It was like 8 of us. We all, my mom came knocking on my door, and we just all escaped and ran as soon as possible. I didn't have no shoes, nothing. We just ran as soon as possible because it sounded very urgent.
Nobody hurt.
No one got hurt.
We just heard a boom. It sounded like a bomb. So then after that, like, once it happened, I kind of like tripped. She tripped too. And then we just ran out the building. I'm like, I can't believe this.
And they say, boom.
Like, tripped. She tripped too. And then we...
No one got hurt.
We just heard a boom. It sounded like a bomb. So then after that, like...
I told you. You gotta listen to what people say, bro. What they say the first time is always true. This is a true reaction. It sounded like a bomb because it was a bomb. They're gonna come up with all type of excuses. Oh, it was a gas leak. It was this and that. Bro, trust me. Like I say, I did my research, but we gonna read that. Look, I don't just come to my lives with bullshit, bro. I do my research. But the first reaction is the true reaction. The first reaction is the true reaction. He said it sounded like a bomb. And watch what the woman say after him. Check this out.
Very urgent.
Nobody hurt.
No one got hurt.
We just heard a boom. It sounded like a bomb. So then after that, like, once it happened, I kind of like tripped. She
Facts.
tripped too. And then we just ran out the building. I'm like, I can't believe this.
And they say, boom, again. So it's the other part go down. So my sister-in-law live in this one and say, Merlin, you inside the apartment?
What's
I
poppin'?
say, yes. La tierra está temblando. And she's
Crowd is shaking.
yeah. Half of the building is going and you felt it. It's like...
So tell me this. How ironic that the side of the building that, exploded, blew up, no one was like in that area. So you telling me that was by mistake or a gas leak or something? No, someone did it on purpose. And if you know that area for real, because a lot of black, Latinos, you already know what they trying to do. They trying to rebuild. Just what he say. They trying to rebuild. They trying to get rid. They trying to run people out so they can rebuild and get insurance money. If you know, you know. This ain't rocket science, bro. On my channel, we've been exposing this shit. This not, like I say, before 2020, they can kind of get away with shit like this. Not for real, but the internet is just too, we see through shit now. Shit crazy, man. For the people that just came in, let's play it one more time, then we'll go to the news.
Luckily, I asked somebody, I said, was there any injuries? No injuries occurred. Luckily, everybody was able to get safely out. But as far as feeling and the intensity in it, it's like going downstairs. You can barely go downstairs. Everybody's trying to go downstairs. People got babies. People ain't got
Happy
no
Wednesday.
shoes
What's
on.
poppin',
They ain't got
Natasha?
no coats, no hats. It's cold outside.
It was like 8 of us. We all, my mom came knocking on my door, and we just all escaped and ran as soon as possible. I didn't have no shoes, nothing. We just ran as soon as possible because it sounded very urgent.
Nobody hurt.
No one got hurt.
We just heard a boom. It sounded like a bomb. So then after that, like, once it happened, I kind of like tripped. She tripped too. And nobody hurt.
No one got hurt.
We just heard a boom. It sounded like a bomb. So then after that, like, once it
Wow.
happened, I kind of like tripped. She tripped too. And then we just ran out the building. I'm like, I can't believe this.
And they say, boom, again. So it's the other part go down. So my sister-in-law live in this one and say, Merlin.
And see, a lot of times you gotta use your common sense. Everybody saying it said boom and nobody was injured. Like, why do you think that is? It's because they trying to, somebody says already gentrified, like they trying to gentrify the whole area and they trying to run people, they trying to run them off. That's it, bro. Like this, if you study history, bro, they do the same thing over and over and over, bro. This system does the same thing over and over. It's nothing new. It's the same. They got the same playbook, generation through generation through generation. It's the same playbook, dog. And if I'm lying, y'all tell me I'm lying. I don't think well, this is my first time, like I say, I like doing these lives. I like it being my first time watching everything. I did watch part of this one, but we're about to go to this. This will be my first time watching all this with him.
And we do have breaking news as we begin.
So they might say what it was, but like I say, I use my common sense and I look at history to tell me, oh, okay, this what it is. You know, history tells you everything, bro. That's why I don't really depend on the news, you know.
Eyewitness News Mornings at 10. You are looking live right now at pictures from Newscopter 7 after an apparent gas explosion. This was at an apartment building in the Bronx.
It's a gas explosion.
After 8 o'clock this morning, you can see the side of the building right there in that building right in the middle. It's torn off. We're told that an incinerator shaft that collapsed to the ground, but not section of 137th
My bad, y'all.
Street,
Somebody called me.
Alexander Avenue in the Monhaven section.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of panning up and down, so you can see it is the entire height of the building. It is that dark shaded area that should be built and surrounded by bricks, but is not. Here's what we know right now. We want to tell you right from the start of the show here, there are no known injuries. We've been following this, and there have been dogs in there looking at the debris right now, but as we know, no known injuries. The building, from the Department of Buildings, inspectors have said, and this is early to say it, but they have said it, that the building is safe. So I want to tell you what we're being told right now. And so they're combing through the rubble again with dogs, just want you to know that. But again, at this point, there are no known deaths or injuries, which when you see the extent of the damage all the way up to the top of that building and back down to the ground, and then you look at the pile of rubble below, it is unbelievable that
The debris is quite expansive. We have live team coverage on the ground, but we do want to begin
Exactly.
in the air. John Del Giorno giving us this bird's eye view. John, any updates at this point?
The path to a college degree is more affordable than
Somebody said, you never know. The investors most likely have something. Yeah, hey, come on, bro. Come on. You already know. This the fourth quarter, too? This the fourth quarter of the year? Come on.
We've been here
Facts.
since shortly after this happened. I want to get back to something that Sam said about the building has been declared stable. Now, there have been some evacuations of residents inside the building. We're told that that's being done as a precaution. You can just see those firefighters exiting the building. Just a few minutes ago, we saw them up on the roof. So that's actually a good sign. If that building wasn't stable, they wouldn't have allowed those firefighters to go up and operate on the roof. But again, let's go back and we'll recap everything that's happened here this morning. This is a live picture from Newscopter 7. This is Alexander Avenue between 135th and 138th Street. It was just after 8 o'clock this morning that a loud explosion was reported. That explosion was heard throughout the neighborhood. The emergency crews arrived to find that this exterior portion of the building had collapsed. This is a New York City housing complex. These are the Mitchell houses, and this building has been reported as 17 stories tall. The portion that collapsed, that's been described to us as an exterior incinerator shaft that runs from the very top of the building all the way to the bottom. When that collapsed, all of that debris collapsed down into an exterior courtyard. And again, we've been told now that the building is stable. No apartments were affected by the collapse. But again, this just reported to us, some residents have been evacuated from the building as a precaution. As we said earlier, no injuries have been reported and no one is reported missing. But I wanted to show you a quick piece of tape that we shot just a few minutes ago. We talked about the dogs being here at the scene. These are the urban search and rescue units of the NYPD. These are the units that get sent around the world after a natural disaster. They are on site here. But again, we're told this is just a precaution. The big thing we want to stress here is that there are no injuries reported and no one reported missing at this hour. We'll send it back to you.
incredible job, and please stay there for us and keep your shots going as we continue to talk about this. But again, you are always the guy with the best information as you are right on the scene and right over the scene. John, I do want to mention something from NYC Emergency Management. They included in their tweet that Con Edison has shut down gas and utility to the building. So I just want to confirm that so that people know we don't have live kind of like gas and utilities in that area. The other thing I'll give you a chance to talk about now, you did mention that we don't see inside the apartments like we have in other collapses, because Pedro, Charlene, and I, when we were first looking at this, we were noticing that it is just the exterior shaft here. And I find that unusual that is an exterior incinerator shaft. But maybe this is the way these buildings were built at the time, that went from the floor all the way to the roof. So just to give you a go on that.
That could be, Sam, and I would agree with that. This is the far southwest corner of this building, and it doesn't appear that there was anything structural in that shaft. It really appears that it was constructed merely out of bricks, because all those bricks rained down into the courtyard. So this doesn't look like it was a structural portion of the building. When they say that no apartments were affected, it just means no portions of the apartments have collapsed. Sam, I want to show one other thing here that we got word of. Fire department, again, a multi-agency response.
Wow.
But look closely, right there in the center of your screen. That is one of New York City's drones, and that's here at the scene, giving them a really good look at the extent of the damage here, high up off the ground. So this is really an example of that kind of technology being used without having to place any lives in danger. That is being used so that the authorities can really assess this building from the exterior, and then what you'll see next, your buildings department get inside to get a really good look. I would say the building's been described, it's been declared stable. I don't know if that translates into safe. We'll have to see where that goes a little later on today.
Wow.
And John, in your shot there that you did that close-up of the drone, you could see several of the AC units kind of hanging out of the window. We know the debris at the bottom. There were tons of AC units that were hanging out there.
Yeah, they look
right
crooked. You're right. Look at that
this.
one.
So they're going to have to look at just the structure
Wow.
of all those apartments there.
Those two right there.
Those two especially.
A lot of them landed on the ground
debris on
too.
the windowsill there, right there.
And there's debris there. We know on the ground we do have Joe Torres standing by. He just spoke with several people. And Joe, if you could hear us here, we heard from people that this was such a loud boom that it was heard from miles away.
Pedro, you're about to hear from some more people that we talked to here, but let me just piggyback a little bit on what John was talking about here. We're on the Alexander Avenue side, right near the corner of 135th Street, and we'll pan up and tilt up, and you'll be able to see two FDNY drones just hovering there right outside where the collapse started. What a panic-filled start to October for the people who live here in the Mitchell houses at 205 Alexander.
Think about that. Think about that. All this happened on the 1st of the month. Like, think about this shit, bro. This is not rocket science. It's not rocket science. They go tell you it was a faulty gas leak. It was, ironically, this happened on October the 1st. Out of all days, October, the 1st of the month. The 1st of the month. When people have, do I still have to pay my rent? Think about that shit. Do I still have to pay my rent? If the building just exploded, do I still have to pay my rent? This could have happened on any day. Did they have some insurance that was about to end, or like what? You know, you don't know. But with these people, you can never trust them, bro, because this is their history. Matter of fact, bro. And you can look this shit up, bro. It's called the Bronx burning area from 1970s through the 80s. During the period, thousands of buildings in the South Bronx were destroyed by fires. Many were set by landlords who found it more profitable to collect insurance money than maintain housing in a poor, majority Black and Latino community. The South Bronx suffered from what historians call planned shrinkage. City services like fire departments, hospitals, and police were deliberately reduced in the poorest Black and Latino neighborhoods under policies pushed by officials like Roger Starr in the 1970s. This left buildings to deteriorate and collapse more easily. By the 1970s and 2000s, after much, I gotta learn how to write, bro. I be writing so fast. After much other housing had already been lost, redevelopment projects and new real estate investments began entering the South Bronx. So all this shit, bro, this shit been happening. Back then, it was fires. And they purposely stopped the fire department, the police from coming in certain areas to do, and also do inspections, because if you know, the fire departments, and I learned this when I moved to New York, the fire departments do the inspections on the buildings. So they stopped the fire departments from coming to the South Bronx on purpose, so they won't do those inspections, so the buildings can collapse. This shit been going on since the 70s, dog. Since the 70s, dog. It's called the Bronx Burning Area. The Bronx Burning Era from 1970s through the 1980s. Then you had it again from the 1990s through the 2000s. Shit crazy, bro. This shit been going on. That's why I say, bro, you really have to get outside the matrix to see what's really going on in front of you. Out of all days this could have happened, this happened on October the 1st. That's crazy. Shit crazy, man.
Avenue, or in the Mott Haven area of the Bronx. Again, this partial
Exactly.
collapse, and we can't stress this part enough. No injuries as a result of what happened here shortly after 8 o'clock.
And look, he said it right. Look how clean and controlled demolition was. This was not by, yeah, if it was by accident, bro, it would be people that was hurt. They wanted to do what they did, but not hurt anyone. So if this was by accident, people would be hurt. No one was hurt. No one was injured. So what they tell you, they did it at the right time. I don't know what time it happened. It was this morning, but I don't know at what exact time it was. But they did it when people was probably asleep. Nobody was really out. They did. Notice that. If this happened for real, if it was a real accident, it would happen around this time of the day when everybody up. It wouldn't be the perfect, it was the perfect setup. Everybody asleep. Think about, like, you gotta think, bro. I always just sit back and use my common sense. It was the perfect time, bro.
This morning, when that collapse occurred, an incinerator or chimney, if you want to call it that, preceded by, yes, an explosion of some sort. We've had that confirmed by some of the information that's already put out by authorities, as well as some of the people that we talked to, tenants telling us, one of them telling us she heard not one, but two sort of explosions.
Wow.
It's just a fruit salad of flashing lights here at the scene. FDNY, NYPD, the Buildings Department of Environmental Protection is here. OEM sort of coordinating everyone. And then, as you mentioned, Sam, earlier, Con Ed has cut off some gas lines here to the building just as a precaution. The mayor has been briefed as well on this, and we expect perhaps to see him here at the scene a little bit later today. But now as for the tenants, and there are many of them, this was a panic-filled morning for them when they heard what was going on. Listen to what they had to say as we talked to them out here on the street.
Wow.
The fact that half of the building is gone and you felt it, it's like, luckily I asked somebody, I said, was there any injuries? No injuries occurred. Luckily everybody was able to get safely out. But as far as feeling and the intensity in it, it's like going downstairs, you could barely go downstairs. Everybody's trying to go downstairs. People got babies. People ain't got no shoes on. They ain't got no coats, no hats. It's cold outside.
It was like 8 of us. We all, my mom came knocking on my door, and we just all escaped and ran as soon as possible. I didn't have no shoes, nothing. We just ran as soon as possible.
That's a bomb. Exactly.
It sounded very urgent.
Nobody hurt.
No one got hurt.
No one hurt. No one hurt at all.
No one hurt at all.
Yeah, we was walking, we was gonna go, cause we was going to our friend's house. So as we was going up the stairs, we just heard a boom. It sounded like a bomb. So after that, like, once it.
See, this is what I love about humans, bro.
And ran as soon as possible. I didn't have no shoes, nothing. We just ran as soon as possible because it sounded very urgent.
Nobody hurt.
No one got hurt.
No one hurt. No one hurt at all.
No one hurt at all.
Yeah, we was walking, we was gonna go, cause we was going to our friend's house. So as we was going up the stairs,
Bingo.
We just heard a boom. It sounded like a bomb. So after that, like,
that's it. His first reaction is right. It sounded like a bomb because that's what it was. And y'all probably think I'm crazy, man, but when you study history, bro, history tells you everything. It tells you what's going to happen. Because, like I told y'all, racist Caucasian people, this whole system, they not creative, bro. They just follow what their racist ancestors did. That's all they do. They follow the same playbook. And now they're trying to gentrify this area and make it to high rises, luxury high rises. That's it, because they want money. They want more money. That's it. That's it. It's really common sense. Shit crazy, man.
Once it happened, I kind of like tripped. She tripped too, and then we just ran out the building. I'm like, I can't believe this.
And they say, boom, again. So it's the other part go down. So my sister-in-law
Exactly.
this one and say, Merlin, you inside the apartment? I say, yes. La tierra está temblando. And she's
Ground is shaking.
Yeah. Yeah, and I say, I don't know what to do. And she say, no, get out of there because the building is getting down. So I just go outside running. So but when I see all this smoke in the store, in the second floor is leave a lot of old people, and I go back to knock the door. Get out the building. The building is coming down.
Imagine being able to build anything just by...
Hold on, somebody said if this was a gas leak, somebody should have smelled that right away. Yeah, and to me, by nobody being hurt or nothing, this was a controlled. It was controlled. That's what it was. At the right time in the morning, it was controlled. On the right date, October the 1st. Shit crazy, man. Right. With no codes being called.
So
What's poppin',
imagine
Crow
if you're on the
West?
14th,
What's poppin'?
15th, 16th floor, you hear this explosion, the elevator's not working, you've got to make your way down. That's why we call it a panic-filled morning.
The elevators wasn't working. Damn.
They've searched the area, no indications of anyone trapped, and again, no reports of any injuries. Building department has set up what they call a collapse zone, just in case part of that still starts to come down.
Yep.
So that's been cordoned off here. Con Ed, as we mentioned, shut off what appears to be a low-pressure gas line. Searches took place. Again, no injuries. And now the investigation will start to get underway as to what it was that caused the explosion and then the explosion that caused the collapse. Still so many questions to be answered as this investigation gets underway. Live here in Mott Haven, I'm Joe Torres, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Joe, before you go, a question for you. You just mentioned a collapse zone. Do you know how much, like what perimeter, like how wide ranging is that for residents who may be trying to walk through that area? How difficult was it for you to get there?
Well, it was very, very challenging because you've seen the emergency response that is here. So we parked at least 2 blocks away.
No elevator period. Okay, I got you. I got you.
Side of what happened here on the Alexander Avenue side, Shirlene. We've already had 1 or 2 people come over and talk to us and say,
no one was hurt.
A better vantage point of what it looks like.
Shit, they better than me. They better than me talking about they not hurt. What? They better than me talking about they not hurt. You know how long this country been getting over our people? This is your time. They better than me. Nobody was hurt. What? I would have put a coat on. I would have got under those bricks and laid my ass down. I would have laid under those bricks. Hey, I would have laid my ass under those bricks. Talk about nobody hurt. What? This is your come up way here. What are you talking about nobody hurt? I would have laid under those bricks and went my ass to sleep. What you talking about nobody hurt? What? This is your time right here. Come on, bro. About 500. Come on, bro. This is your time right here. The system, bro, look. The system been getting over on our people. Don't feel bad when it's your time. When it's your time, use your time. I'm not saying just go out there and just do crazy shit on purpose. But no, this is your opportunity. Lay your ass under those bricks and get your money. Exactly. Somebody said, look at God. I'm telling you. This is your time. You know how much you can get for a slipping? Come on, bro. Bro, I would have went laid my ass under those bricks like it was nothing, dog. with a smile on my face, dog. Y'all playing chess? Guess what? I'm playing chess too. I would have been like, easy on Friday. What? My neck and my back. I'm telling you, bruh. They out there saying nobody hurt. What? I'm hurt? What, man? They better than me, bro. Checkmate, exactly. They better than me, bro. Forget that. I'm going out there with, I'm taking my shirt off. I'm laying under the bricks. Like I was outside smoking a cigarette or something. This is your time. The system been getting over on people in the projects, dog. Been getting over. All this money in New York, bro. All this money in New York. Shit crazy, man. I wasn't even there. I'm hurt. Exactly. I'm thinking about catching the Uber over there right now. I'm thinking about catching the Uber over there right now. Listen, everything hurt. What? The projects are... Man, come on, Robert. You speaking facts. That's facts. This morning, Fox News Channel 5 said no one smelled gas. I come home from work, it's gas. See? MG said, just like the levee in Louisiana, just like the Twin Tower blown. Exactly. Appreciate that 5, MG. That's facts. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you. But this shit crazy, man. Talking about nobody hurt. What? I'm hurt. I'm emotionally hurt. My neck and my back. What? I'm laying under bricks with a cigarette in my hand, with a joint in my hand. Just like, damn, I was taking a walk. It is what it is, bro.
Walk around the block, so we haven't been there just yet. We will before the day is over for
a
sure.
cool million. What?
To determine how big that collapse area is, because we're sort of cordoned off right here in one particular location. So we'll get on that. We'll keep you posted. But for now, yes, many people remain outside. Thankfully, weather-wise, it's a cool fall morning today. It's not overwhelmingly hot and it's not overwhelmingly cold. So people out here just sort of watching the action, absorbing it. Many people holding their hands together, thankfully that nobody was hurt and they got out A-okay.
Joe, and great hustle on getting there. Thank you very much. New York City Emergency
I'm pretty sure
Management, like you, just reminds everyone to not get into that area. There are a number of street closures. There's a number of places blocked in. So just stay clear of all of that while this is ongoing.
And Sam, we should say that the BX33 and the M125 are the buses that run in that area. So far, we're being told not impacted by this, but something to keep in mind if you know anyone who uses it.
Because there is that collapse zone, right? So you can't get too close to that.
Appreciate you, Q. Man, where you at? I'm gonna pick you up so we can go get paid. Let's go. Shout out to you, Q. Always supporting, man. Appreciate that 10. You always supporting. I appreciate you. This said somebody threw something in the incinerator that blew up. I have 2 friends that stayed there. I'm so happy they made it out. See?
Commissioner?
Yes, I am.
Thank you so much. Obviously, we have a lot of questions for you. Is it possible for you to walk us through what the fire department does when they get to a scene like this? You know, like, what are their first priorities?
Well, the first thing...
See, I told y'all, throughout history, it's been happening. And like I say, I learned that fire departments do the inspection on these buildings because the building I'm in, the fire department came and, like, let's say somebody else buy the building or something like that. The fire department got to come and do the inspection. That's how I learned that. So let me read this again. The South Bronx suffered from what historians call shrinkage city. Well, planned shrinkage. City services like fire departments, hospitals, and police were deliberately reduced in the poorest Black and Latino neighborhoods under policies pushed by officials like Roger Starr in the 1970s. So all this stuff was done by design, bro. It was done by design. If the fire department not going there regularly and doing inspections and stuff like that, that shows you what they trying to do. I'm telling you what they trying to do, bro. They trying to get rid of the projects. And they trying to do these luxury high rises, bro. That's what they trying to do. And it's people in the Bronx that's been telling me already they see a lot of, Caucasian people running in the morning and stuff like that, gentrified and stuff. But they could have been fixed up the Bronx. But they're not gonna fix it up for black people. They're not gonna fix it up for Latino people. They gonna fix it up for their people. That's when they go fix it up. And that's what you call gentrify. They decide when they want to fix it up for their people on purpose. So they're gonna tell you that it was a gas leak, it was an accident. No, this shit been going on. It used to be fires, but now a bomb. You heard everybody say it was a bomb, and they said they heard multiple, not just one time. Shout out to you, Ayaya. Appreciate that 3. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. I appreciate all super chats, man. I thank y'all for that. In West Oakland, we have a high-rise project that leaks sewage. Damn, that's wild. Right, and today is the first day of government. Come on, bro. See, look. Appreciate you. Unapologetic. Look at that. It's the first day of the shutdown. October the 1st, first day of the shut. Like, can't make this shit up, man. They trying to build those skinny. Exactly. When you ride through the hood in South Jersey, you can smell the pipes. Oh yeah, Return from Exile. All that shit is by design. It's all by design. Be suspicious. Oh, facts. Appreciate you, Justina Fowler, for that $2. Thank you for that. Appreciate you, man. Thank y'all for all the super chats, man. I'm moving to a high rise. What that is, Q? In QU in a minute. Oh, in Queens in a minute. I want in too. Projects were developed as, exactly, it's just what it is, a project. And what they doing right now, they running their tests. It's a project. So what they doing now, they running their tests. That's it. They telling you what it is, a project. No one, they said no one was injured. But come on, this is a project, that's it. They don't care, bro. They don't care about those people, man. And it's sad because all they gonna do is create sky rises or whatever. And they not gonna take care. If you ever lived in one of those luxury sky rises, bro, you know all the problems they have. They look good on the outside, but on the inside, the elevators don't work regularly. It's always problems with those buildings. They might look good on the outside, but trust me, the people going through it, because you gotta understand, the people that's buying these buildings and building these buildings, they're not from this country. So they don't care what's really going on. They gonna do the bare minimum. They gonna make it look good on the outside, but for the most part, they gonna do the bare minimum to keep it fixed up. They don't give a damn. Just read the reviews on these luxury places. It's horrible, bro. It's horrible because they don't give a damn. It's all about money, bro. That's it. When you learn America is all about money, you will understand everything. It's all about money. That's it. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about shit. It's all about money. That's it. They don't care. And they use religion. They hide behind religion. Because when they hide behind religion, they get to fool Caucasian people. They get to fool the MAGA people. They get to fool them. Keep them in the matrix. Because they can just hide behind religion. And they easily manipulate it. Easily manipulated. See, they like to talk about black people being, no, it's the Caucasian people. They easily manipulate. They go along to get along all the time. All the time. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying.
Thing we would do is
it's a corporation. Exactly.
Determine if there are any people trapped in this collapse, determine how we can operate under in a collapse.
Exactly. You heard what he said? How we know no one is injured? You see how quick they just, no one, how we know that? How we know that no one was injured? All those people in the projects in that building, you will tell me no one, like, they so quick to say no one is injured. And dude just said it may be people trapped. Shit crazy, man. What up, FBI? What's poppin'? Elite Chronicles. What's poppin'? Sharing. That's right, introvert. They knew what they were doing when they created religion. Yeah, man. They use that to control and manipulate people, but they really care about money. Why you think all your churches got ATMs in it now? All the churches got ATMs, bruh. You think Jesus needs your money? You think God needs your money? Come on, bro. It's all about the Benjamins, bro. That's it. Once you learn that, you gonna see why they do a lot of shit, bro. It's all about the Benjamins, dog. You know, I thank you, First Live. Thanks. What's poppin', Dario? Capitalism, whole country was built on. Yeah, that's facts, Q. That's facts. Get your passports, y'all. Hey, do what you do, man. Do what you do. Sir Jiggy with it. Appreciate that comment. What? Serious? Yeah. Churches got ATMs, brother. Matter of fact, matter of fact, they got the what they call the QR code. You could just scan your phone and pay your offering. You could just scan the code and pay your offering now, bro. It's no more envelopes with the money. Yeah, you might go to even the hood probably upgraded and shit. The A&M churches, they probably upgraded, but you can scan your phone to give money, bro. It's no more excuses, bro. They say Jesus needs your money. The game is cold, bro. I'm telling you.
Zone, what is safe and what isn't. It's a miracle that so far, and if this holds, no one has been killed or injured by this collapse. 17 stories of
what's poppin', Dolan?
Falling like that at 8 o'clock in the morning and not falling on anyone is certainly miraculous. So
it's not miraculous. This happened at 8 a.m. He says miraculous that no one was hurt. No, they did it at the perfect time when no one was standing outside. And you know how the Bronx is. You know how New York is. Everybody walking, everybody outside. Like, bruh, at 8 a.m., come on, bruh. So they knew what time to do it, bruh. You see they got the drones outside? You see they had the drones just now. They knew what time to do what, bruh. They knew what time to do what. This shit, that's all it is, bro. That's all it is. And this been going on since the 70s, bro. This been going on since the 70s, dog. I've not been in church in years. Oh, yeah, churches got QR codes now. You don't have to, you don't need cash. My neck, my back, exactly, bro. They knew what time somebody had. I'm telling you how it go. You saw the drone in the video just now. Look, the drone right here. This the drone right here. That's the drone right there. So someone, I'm telling you how this shit go, bro. It's common sense. Someone was out there with the drone and they said when was the perfect time to do it. No one was walking. No one was out walking. No one. And they did the right time, bro. For them, it was the right time when no one was hurt. You telling me no one was hurt, bro, in the Bronx, in New York City, bro? Come on. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. We know this was planned.
Will be to once the area below is stabilized to remove the debris.
See?
Con Edison has shut off a high pressure.
Look, the drone right here. Look.
Line, so that is done.
It's probably the same. Come on, bro. It's probably the same drone they used before they bombed this shit. And you can call me crazy, bro, but this is common sense, bro. This is probably the same drone that was out there at 8 a.m. that caused the whole thing, bro. This is probably the same drone that was out there at 8 a.m. It's just a hobbyist. I'm telling you.
These buildings have numerous shafts. Usually there's a
damn, see, I didn't know that.
And the chimney, the exhaust for the boiler. And one would think that potentially there'd be a substantial gas leak to cause this kind of damage, whether the boiler exploded, whether gas entered that shaft and was ignited. We'll find out. The fire department, the police department will do a complete investigation and determine what caused.
Did someone ignite it?
But for now, they determined no one is under these bricks. There's still some loose bricks up there. You can see on the so the members are not operating below. 2 dogs have searched the area. Drones have searched the area from above, and this operation will be ongoing for many hours and days.
Yeah, we're zooming in right now as you see.
Now listen, y'all,
onto some
listen,
of those
listen,
units
listen.
where you can see the
We go around that part. You have to use your common sense in life. I don't care if you don't have book smarts, none of that shit. Use your common sense, you can get far in life. It's 2025 with all this technology. We got all this technology. So you telling me you don't know what happened? You telling me you can't trace where this all started from or whatever, where the explosion started from? They don't know what's going on. It's 2025. They got robots. You got cars. You got what's called waves or something. You got taxis with no taxi driver in it that's driving people around. What are you talking about? You got cars that got laptops in them. Like, it's 2025, all this technology. What are you, like, who you trying to fool? Who you trying to fool? Saying you don't know what happened. You telling me you can't go to the scene and trace to where this all started from? Like, what did you go to college for if you don't know? This is why you go to college, right? To get this job and to know. It's always funny they don't know anything when shit happens, especially when it happens to black people. They don't know anything. All of a sudden the cameras don't work. When our people are murdered in sundown towns, the cameras don't work. No one knows anything. It's 2025, bro. It's cameras everywhere. It's cameras on cars. It's cameras on traffic lights. It's cameras on stops, especially in the Bronx, especially in New York City. Bruh. People got cameras on their glasses. What are you talking about? What they call them, the meta glasses or whatever? It's cameras everywhere in the Bronx because they make money from crime. So they gotta put cameras everywhere. As soon as you walk out your house, you being monitored in New York City. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. It's cameras everywhere, dog. Across the street, they closed it down. There was a bank there to close it down. Exactly. They trying to rebuild. Shit crazy, man. But let's listen to what he said again. Just listen to, because somebody said in the chat, they say he's lying. Exactly. When they start like stumbling over their words, when they start trying to explain themselves, but they don't want to say too much, listen.
Many people remain out. There's a number of places blocked in, so just stay clear of all of that while this is ongoing.
And Sam, we should say that the BX33
everywhere.
and the M125 are the buses that run in that area. So far, we're being told not impacted by this, but something to keep in mind if you know anyone who uses
Yeah, because there is that collapse zone, right? So you can't get too close to that area. Joining us now on the phone is former New York City Fire Commissioner Daniel Nigro. Are you there, Commissioner?
Yes, I.
A fire commissioner. Now let's see what a fire commissioner sounds like.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Obviously, we have a lot of questions for you. Is it possible for you to walk us through what the fire department does when they get to a scene like this? You know, like what are their first priorities?
Well, the first thing we would do is to determine if there are any people trapped in this collapse, determine how we can operate under in a collapse zone, what is safe and what isn't. It's a miracle that so far, and if this holds, no one has been killed or injured by this collapse. 17 stories of brick and concrete falling like that at 8 o'clock in the morning and not falling on anyone is certainly miraculous. So right now the operation will be to once the area below is stabilized to remove the debris. Con Edison has shut off a high pressure and low pressure gas line, so that is done. But these buildings have numerous shafts. Usually there's a compactor shaft or two, and the chimney, the exhaust for the boiler. And one would think that potentially be a substantial gas leak to cause this kind of damage, whether the boiler exploded, whether gas entered that shaft and was ignited. We'll find out. The fire department, the police department will do a complete investigation and determine what caused it. But for now,
Exactly.
They determined no one is under these bricks. There's still some loose bricks up there. You can see on the so the members are not operating below. 2 dogs have searched the area. Drones have searched the area from above, and this operation will be ongoing for many hours and days.
Yeah, we're zooming in right now as you speak onto some of those units where you can
see. It all makes sense, bro. It all makes sense. Get those people out of there. They can never go back. That's what they go tell them. They go tell them, oh, we not rebuilding. You can never go back. Find somewhere else to live. And they go treat them like shit, bro. That's what they go do. Imagine start your month off. It's October 1st. You trying to start off a positive month. You trying to, really run it up. You trying to, just do things better in life. October 1st, it's a fresh month. And you wake up and it's a boom. And now you got to, ain't no telling how they go treat them, bro. And I'm telling you, and the excuse is going to be, we not rebuilding. They go tear the whole thing, bro. It's common sense. They go tear the whole thing down, and that's when they go start building their luxury high rises, bro. This their whole game plan, bro. And everybody in on this shit. But they want to play dumb to the people because they think the people are dumb. That's what they think. This the whole plan. They go tell them, oh, it's too much damage to rebuild. It's too old. And they go make it luxury sky rises. That's it. They mad with my now facts. In Miami, 90 people died and they I remember that. Dario, overnight surprise. Hold on. I do remember that. Damn. I remember this happened in Miami. Overnight surprise. This wasn't planned. It was no one's hurt here in Miami. They have brought them out of the rise rent. They left. I remember that happened in Miami. Poor minority people are under attack. Facts. They don't give a damn. They will give or buy out housing voucher to move. Yep, you're right, Dr. T. But hopefully it's enough, because you know how they do. You know how they do. They gonna tell you, okay, we'll give you this amount but you know how New York is. Hopefully give people, what they need. Said, show us that hairline. You missed the live yesterday. I showed it. I show you the door though. Boyo. They are going to increase the rent. Exactly. If they even try to rebuild, bro. But you're right. They might try to increase the rent and use that as an excuse. Because this is the fourth quarter. They trying to go out hard. All Miami buildings were under inspections for a year. Rod Strickland used to live in my building behind. You just pay your rent. They call it a building smart, Cody, like they are doing in California. Damn.
See those AC units clinging on there, and still a lot of debris right there on the side, and those bricks that are hanging right there can fall at any moment. So they want to
look at that shit, bro.
Are safe there. And we heard that woman talk about how she went to the second floor because they have a lot of elderly people nearby. So you hope no one was injured, even just trying to leave the building, even if it's not the building falling here. So tell us a little bit about how common gas-related incidents are in New York City and what causes them. Because when we hear an incinerator shaft, explain to us what exactly this is and how common are these gas-related incidents?
Well, at one time, buildings had incinerators. They've been converted to compactors, and newer buildings are built with compactor shafts.
Bingo, Q.
Not incinerator shafts, which are completely different. And also, again, exterior chimneys.
I'm trying to show the video where it showed it.
Apartments, to exhaust the gas from the boiler, the exhaust fumes. Now, each of these apartments that are in line that abut this shaft.
Here we go.
Breaking news.
Wow.
Here on News 12, a chimney on a Mott Haven NYCHA building collapsing into
That's crazy.
After a gas explosion.
That's crazy.
Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Noelle Lilly. We're bringing you full coverage of this collapse.
That's crazy.
News 12, a chimney on a Mott Haven NYCHA building collapsing into rubble after a gas explosion. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Noelle Lilly.
Damn.
We're bringing you full coverage of this collapse today, including team coverage for you.
Right.
Reporters were some of the first ones on the scene, and moments ago, a press conference wrapped up with Mayor Eric Adams and other city officials. We start first with News 12's Nadia Galindo. Nadia, you've been following what's happening here, and we know you were there as that presser unfolded.
Yeah, Noel, we got a lot of new
exactly
information
from the
about the
17th.
the recovery phase
Damn.
of this operation and what residents
17
can expect
floors
coming
up.
in the next couple of hours.
Bruh.
Taking a look at the scene right now, we're right across from the building, and you can see that there are still NYPD,
Damn.
Edison, NYCHA, SDNY, the Department of Buildings. It is an all hands on deck affair right now. I can even see the Bronx Borough President, Vanessa.
And see, you gotta realize, bro, you gotta realize something. Everybody know what's going on, except the people that's, well, it's some people that know now that's in the projects and stuff like that. You know, it's a lot of people that know, but the people that's the construction workers, well, they might not know. All of them might not know, but the people that's in position of power, the cops, they all know this shit, bro. They all know what's going on. And this is, you saw that video just now. You telling me no one was hurt? Look at this shit, bro. Look at this shit. Damn.
Breaking news here on News 12, a chimney on a Mott Haven NYCHA building collapsing into rubble after a gas explosion. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Noelle Lilly. We're bringing you full coverage of this collapse today, including team
And somebody,
Our reporters
and
were
people
some of the
said they
first
heard
ones
2
on the
booms,
scene.
bro. They said they heard 2 booms, bro. And he said it sounded like a bomb.
Breaking news here on News 12, a chimney on a Mott
Exactly.
Haven NYCHA building collapsing.
That's it. He
rubble
said it.
after a
He said it. A laser cut. That's it. That's it, bro. They got the technology to do all that shit, bro. They have the technology to, bro. It was a too perfect collapse, bro. It was too perfect. Exactly. If it was a gas explosion, bro, it would have been more chaos. It would have been more areas that was affected. This was perfectly designed to happen the way they want it to happen, bro. We're not gonna hurt nobody, but we go destroy the building, because now when this happened, you see the air conditioners hanging out, because now they gotta fix the whole foundation. They gotta fix the whole foundation of the building. And the building's so old, they might say, forget this building. We're gonna knock it all the way down and just rebuild how we wanna build. I'm telling you. And they go do it in the projects, because that's where the land is cheap at. The land is cheaper there, so they can build their luxury for cheap over there. This how this shit work, bro. Where's the fire? Exactly. Wait, so if it was a gas explosion or something, it would have been a fire, right? Like, shit crazy, man. It's key. See?
breaking news here on News 12, a chimney on a Mott Haven NYCHA building collapsing into rubble after a gas explosion. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Noelle Lilly. We're bringing you full coverage of this
Haven
collapse
section
today,
of the Bronx. It's
including
cheap because
team
they are buying
coverage.
from the best
Our
friends.
reporters were
Exactly.
some of the first ones on the scene, and moments ago, a press conference wrapped up with Mayor Eric Adams and other city officials.
Wow.
We start first with News 12's Nadia Galindo. Nadia, you've been following what's happening here, and we know you were there as that presser unfolded.
Yep.
Yeah, Noel, we got a lot of new information about the next steps, the recovery phase of this operation, and what residents can expect coming in the next couple of hours. Taking a look at the scene right
It's
now,
controlled. They
we're right
brought down
across
whole
from
project
the
buildings with
building,
one
and you can
blast.
see that there are
Right.
still NYPD, Con Edison, NYCHA, FDNY, the Department of Buildings. It is an all hands on deck affair right now. I can even see the Bronx Borough President, Vanessa L. Gibson, here on scene. So this is causing hundreds of people to be out of their homes. Crews are now on scene inspecting the foundation of the building here at the Mitchell houses, and we're told demolition will be happening at some point. But the video of this explosion is compelling. You can see the corner of the housing collapse and fall to the ground. Now we're told that crews were here with dogs searching through that rubble for signs of life, and luckily no one died and no one was injured, but residents in the F and G lines of this building were evacuated and are being helped at a nearby center. Meanwhile,
Proper
gas has
motivation.
been shut off for the entire building. And it's important to note that October 1st is the first day they turn on heat in public housing. And we are also told that there was work being done on this specific boiler. Now, meanwhile, we've been talking to residents who are out of their homes right now or that live in nearby buildings. I spoke to one man who lives on the 17th floor of this building. Take a listen to what he experienced.
I'm just literally, my mind is all over the place right now. I honestly don't know. Maybe they need to transfer everybody from that building because we can't go back in there. We can't go back in there. And I wouldn't feel comfortable going back in there, to be honest.
Meet the women of our 2025 Confidence Project, empowering
People, and I said we're watching it like it was a movie. It was major events. I remember that. I think I did a story about that happening in St. Louis, in Missouri.
So again, people that live in this building or live nearby in the Mitchell Houses complex, really concerned about the structural stability of this building. And even if their home wasn't part of this building, what is the structural stability of the other homes here in this
Right
complex?
when the heat
we are
was
speaking to residents that are telling us
exactly
that they smelled gas for weeks and reported it to management, and they say those concerns fell on deaf ears. I did ask the mayor about those concerns.
Listen.
Their home wasn't part of this
Listen.
building. What is the structural stability of the other homes here in this complex? We are speaking to residents that are telling us that they smelled gas for weeks and reported it to management, and they say those concerns fell on deaf ears. I did ask the mayor about those concerns. He said that is part of the investigation. That's the latest here in Mott Haven. I'm Nadia Galindo, News 12. Their home wasn't part of this building. What is the structural stability of the other homes here in this complex? We are speaking to residents that are telling us that they smelled gas for weeks and reported it to management, and they say those concerns fell on deaf ears. I did ask the mayor about those concerns.
You see? You know why it fell on deaf ears? Because they already knew what was going to happen. They knew at what time they was going to cause the explosion. They knew what time it was going to happen. That's why it fell. See, people think I'm crazy, bro. But that tells you everything. The residents was telling for weeks that they smelled gas. And they did nothing about it because they knew what was going to happen already. And their cop-out was going to be a gas leak. That's their cop-out. That's their cop-out. But the whole time, this was done on purpose, bro. In 2025, they still do the same shit that they did in 1970. That's why I'm always telling y'all, bro. History is so important. It's so important because it repeats itself. They replay the same playbook over and over and over. They keep doing it. Now watch, we're going to start seeing next year redevelopment, luxury sky rises. Watch. Look, I don't forget nothing, bro. Any story I do, I'm coming back to it. I don't forget anything. This shit crazy. So why did they contact the fire department? The fire department got to talk to the owners of the building so they can contact the fire department. The fire department can't do anything if the owner, if the owner don't allow them to. New York City have a real tenant laws that protect tenants. Oh, okay. They're in real more states. See, I just moved here, so the only thing I learned was that the fire department come out and they do the inspections because I saw that happen, I saw that happen. But I learned like in the Bronx and South Bronx since the 1970s, they always whoever was in charge, the people in power, they always told the fire department, the police to limit their time there. So the fire department don't really do inspections like that in the Bronx for real. And that's done on purpose. Back in the day, you would call the fire department and they would come. But I'm saying like, okay, some people look, they probably did call the fire department, but I told you earlier, like I told you earlier, all these people know what's going on. The fire department, they know what's about to happen. They know the area about to get gentrified. They on the same team. That's why I say we can't really trust nobody because they on the same team with the ops. They on the same team. It was called planned shrinkage, yup, which came out in the 70s, yup. They paid off. Exactly. So they not gonna tell you what's really going on. It's sad. It's sad, bro.
He said that is part of the investigation.
Exactly.
That's the latest here in Mott Haven. I'm Nadia Galindo,
Yep.
News 12.
Nadia, you can't blame those tenants for having concerns about going back inside.
That's a lawsuit,
now,
man.
Let's take a look at where exactly this happened in the Mott Haven neighborhood of the Bronx. This map here shows the Mitchell houses at 205 Alexander Avenue, just across the Harlem River from Manhattan. And here is where we find News 12's Brittany Cadet. She was one of the first reporters to get to the scene for us. Brittany, what's it looking like where you are now?
Yeah, well, I mean, from when we first spoke, when we got here on scene, remember all of that chaos that was happening, all of the fire department workers that we saw here on scene, just a lot of action. Right now, there is none, and thankfully, everything has calmed down. I'm going to give you guys a look at what it looks like right now. Again, very calm, just rubble left behind here, and just, investigations underway. We have the Department of Buildings here on scene investigating as well. NYPD members just guarding the area, making sure that nobody goes through to make sure that, safety is top of mind right now. But take a look at what the building looks like. It's an empty corner. Now, this is where residents say it was actually an empty corner, so thankfully no rooms, no bathrooms, no kitchens, no common areas for residents that live here in this building. So thankfully, no homes, no home.
That was all by design.
Damaged in this collapse, but again, lots of devastation just left behind here. And as you can imagine, those moments where this collapse just happened and when those bricks just started flying from the air, a lot of residents were home. A lot of residents were walking to work, walking their kids to school. So just peak hours here for high foot traffic in this area. I did speak to one resident who was actually home at the time of the collapse, and she walks us through what happened in those moments. Take a listen.
We feel like the building was moving around, so I started running
What's
outside,
poppin',
and I
Monique?
feel like it smelled like gas, a lot of strong gas. But that building is in fire last week. So I don't know, but I feel like the building had to move the people out there because it's a lot of trouble.
And as you can imagine, those moments just extremely frightening for her and other residents that live there in that building. She also told me that she thankfully dropped her daughter off at school right before that entire collapse happened. So she's just relieved that her daughter didn't have to experience that. But again, she also said there was a fire here in this building a few days ago. We were here covering that. So that is just one of the many concerns that residents had here about these structural issues and just issues that they were facing in their home. And then this happened. They're basically saying this was kind of bound to happen with all of the issues that they've been complaining about. But again, lots of questions more than answers at this point. But stick with us right here on 12 as we continue to follow and stay on top of this story today. For now, we're here in Mott Haven. I'm Brittany Cadet. We'll send it right back to you in the studio.
Brittany, I had not even thought about the foot traffic that time of day until you said it. A lot of people could have been passing through when this came down. Thank goodness no injuries were reported. Now let's go to News 12's Mike Lamort. Now, Mike, as I just said, there were no official injuries reported yet by FDNY or NYPD, but tell us about what you saw.
Yeah, you're right. Even during the mayor's press conference, he had mentioned that no injuries were reported. But moments ago, video captured a man as he was being stretched away into an ambulance. You can take a look at at the video.
There you go, get your money, man. Hopefully you're not really hurt, you know.
A little dazed, a little antsy as he's being carted away. News 12 reached out to the FDNY and EMTs to track the latest on that emergency health implications there. We're going to update you as we hear back from them. But the lasting impacts here on health can be felt. Take a look at the bricks. So much rubble from the a building here. It's fogging up the area where
this could have been bad, bro.
Who have many medical needs, equipment even in.
Hey, I'm talking about like this could have been bad for real. That's how I knew it was by design, because if it was by accident, it would be, you know, more chaos and stuff. That's how I know it's by design, bro. No one was like really hurt. No one really died. This was by design, bro. They did it at the right time when no one was walking. You know how Bronx is, bro. Everybody outside, even at 8 a.m., 7 a.m., people are outside. You telling me no one was under that debris? That tells me they waited to the perfect time to do this. They waited for the perfect time, and it could have been worse. If this was an accident, trust me, it could have been worse.
In their room, to take a listen to someone who can't get inside to that medical equipment.
Building was collapsing, my wheelchair's upstairs, my medical supplies, and I really need them bad. My apartment is open. We don't care about none of the belongings but my medical supplies and my wheelchair. Have a blessed day, America. This was happening in Boogie Down.
Yeah, you heard him there. This is what's happening. It's all
exactly.
There's still a vacate order on that building, and the teams here are currently assessing.
Let's listen to some residents talk.
The building is structurally sound to allow people in. It looks like that will not be done anytime soon. So until then, he's left without his medical equipment here, just waiting to get back inside to his home that just went crumbling down this morning. Now we're live here in Mont Haven. Mike Lamore.
What they don't tell you.
I'm gonna hear the residents talk. I don't want to hear these.
We continue our coverage here of that partial building collapse right there. This is new video showing the moment that shaft there on the side of the Mitchell houses here on Alexander Avenue, it collapsing. You can see it falling from the top. Someone had their phone fixed perfectly, and look at that. Right where all that smoke and debris, there's actually a playground right there.
So someone caught the whole thing on tape.
School was in session. There weren't a lot of people nearby.
How ironic.
So we're still trying to figure out exactly if anyone was injured, but we do know at this point no known injuries.
Yes,
so
no known injuries have been confirmed, but obviously that person who's filming it must have heard that explosion.
To have their phone out.
To have their phone out to film it in that very moment that this occurred.
How ironic.
The force and the chunk of the entire side of that building that drops into that courtyard. We're talking about the entire side of a 17-story.
And look, this is the point. Who knows? Like, hold on. You see all that debris, all that smoke? Who knows what that's gonna cause after, bro? We saw what happened during 9/11. You had people who survived 9/11, but because of the rubble, the debris, they later on got cancer. They later on, and this might seem simple, but bro, all this way, bro. So who knows the after effect, bro? And see, this how I know it's by design. Hold on, first let me write this in my notes, hold on. So I remind myself. This how I know it's by design, bro. Tangible whole, parish. Okay. Smitty. I have to write that in my notes. But these people, they use the same tactics, bro. It's the same tactics. Developers need access to that area. It's right near the bridge. Exactly. It's perfect for them. It's perfect for them, bro. So you gotta think about it, bro. After slavery and stuff like that, our ancestors, they started owning lands. They started buying homes. Even like outside the project. I'm talking about like all across this country. Even in California, in LA, A lot of our ancestors moved from Louisiana, from Mississippi, from Alabama, and they went to places like New York. They came to New York, they went to California, and they got the perfect locations, bro. They had the perfect locations. Like, they had all the perfect locations. They own their homes, they own their land, all that. Even in New York, where a lot of people be owning their apartments and they pass it down to they family members. A lot of that, I just learned that. A lot of people, own. I don't know if they own it or not. If you from New York, tell me. I just moved here, so I don't know. But I know a lot of family members, they pass it down to their family. They pass those apartments down to their family. So let's say your grandma, your grandpa, they die, whatever. You pass the apartment down. But all over the country, a lot of our people own their own homes, they land down in New Orleans when Hurricane Katrina hit. And guess what they did? They used dynamites to blow up the levees to flood the Ninth Ward. Not one time, not two times, but three times to destroy the black area where black people own homes. See, I love to tell you that black people don't own nothing black. That's a lie, bro. They ain't gonna tell you why a lot of black people don't own stuff. It's because every time we do, they destroy it. Every time we have a community, having money don't make you a community. In the projects, it's still a community. You still, like, yeah, you got your violence everywhere, bro. Like I say, projects is the projects, but black people still find a way out of no way. It's still gonna be a community of love somewhere within, and they have to always destroy that. They have to. So you look all over. I'm gonna show y'all after this one here. I'm gonna show y'all what happened in Louisiana recently. If you didn't see it, they always use these fires, explosions. They did it in LA. The black area where black people own their homes since what, the 1930s, 1940s. They destroyed all that shit on purpose, bro. I did a video about it. I did videos about it. They did it all on purpose. That's facts. You can look throughout history and see it exactly what's popping. What's popping, Delta Roots? They own several homes. Okay, we used to own our brownstone, the apartment situation. We add you to the lease, and you can get. See, yes, brownstones. My parents moved when the PJ would look at that. Look. Yes, man. Satter's book talk about the land. What's the book, bro? I gotta get that book. What's the book called? The facts can look throughout history. Exactly. They use the same playbook, bro. Every time black people, we figure out how to do whatever, we figure things out, we own shit, they do whatever they can do to destroy it, bro. Because they had 400 years, they have 400-year head start. And somehow, as black people, we still surpass them. We still surpass them. They the real DEI. They always getting the hookups. They always have the connections. They the real DEI. They don't be earning shit. They don't be earning shit. They the real DEI. If I'm lying, just tell me I'm lying. They the real DEI, bro. They don't be earning shit. Look, I can say black people earn their shit. I can look, even though I'm FBA, I can even say the Latino community, they come over here and they earn their shit. So for Caucasian people to diss everybody, but not diss their own people, something wrong, bro. Something wrong. But everybody's starting to notice they the problem. They are the DEI. They are the terrorists. They the real terrorists. Like, come on. Nasty work, bro.
Building that at this point, that side of the building actually serves as like a chimney for an incinerator. So it isn't inside the apartments, but as we looked at it from John Del Giorno's perspective, and Pedro, you were so right to zoom in on that, you can see how some of those air conditioners are tilted and knocked to the side of the windows. You can see debris
the
on some
foundation
of the
messed up
windowsills.
now.
You can see several feet of bricks that are sitting on the ground right there, where you just saw that video, that entire side of that shaft collapsing and dropping right there. John.
Okay, now we seen this. We seen this explosion, right? So let's go. I want to show you how all this shit is by design. Like I told you, the debris, you don't know what the debris is going to cause, bro.
This is why you'll still be single in
Man, shut up. How ironic, somebody had their phone ready. In those seconds, someone had their phone ready to record. How ironic. Exactly. No problem, Q. No problem.
This is a 1060 major emergency.
So look, this happened in New York today, but let me show you how it's always an explosion, it's always fire, or it's always flooding when they trying to take over black land. And they always, it's always toxic chemicals in the air. Watch this shit. This happened like a month ago. I would say a month ago. This is why I'm not from this area, but I know a lot of people from this area. This in Tangible Hope Parish in Louisiana. Hold on, let's get the.
And continuing our coverage of the Smitty's supply explosion in Roseland, an emergency declaration has been issued by state police. The declaration will allow exemptions in some of the regulations for trucks and other vehicles that provide assistance in the aftermath of the explosion. They include power.
Now this was a company in Tangible Hope Parish where black people in what's the area called? I know it's A-Meat and shit. I know it's A-Meat. I know you got Hammond. I know it's Tangible Hope Parish, but it's black people that still own their homes there, still own their land. They have farms there, they have gardens, they have cattle, all that stuff. And these people decided to blow up the chemical plant. You know how it is. Everybody work at the plant. They blew up the chemical plant, and toxic chemicals all in the air, bro. Toxic chemicals all in the air, bro. And they did all this shit on purpose. On purpose. Because that land they want to create more chemical plants. They want to build more chemical plants. That's it. In Louisiana, they call it Cancer Alley. All this shit by design, bro. So yeah, LBs are not majority anymore. I see that too. I see that a lot too. Motivation at hand. Yeah.
Grid repairs, grocery deliveries, and waste removal. The declaration took effect overnight and will remain in place until October the 4th.
Now look, in Roseland, Louisiana, after slavery, our ancestors went and they bought their land. That's why I tell y'all, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all all the time, nothing really impossible, bro. Our people had their own land. They still own their homes, all that stuff till today. But what they doing now is they creating these explosions. They creating these chemical spills. They creating these floods. All that shit is by design. What happened in LA, that was by design, bro. Because our people always have the best land. They right by the river. Anytime you right by the river, they want that. They want that. They want that land. Because you right by the river, guess what? You got your farm, You got the water from the river. You got your cattle. They want all that, bro. And these people, the chemicals went into the river, all that type of stuff, man. And listen to this. This was one day ago. This happened like a month ago. And they just now telling people what the chemicals was, all type of stuff. At first, they didn't want to tell people what kind of chemicals they was breathing in, bro. Shit crazy.
What was the effect that it's going to have on the peoples down the road?
The EPA met with Roseland neighbors concerned about the chemicals in their community more than a month after the Smitty supply explosion. The EPA says tomorrow it will hold a press conference to explain added resources and tactics to clean up contamination from that explosion.
Andres Fuentes reports it comes as some neighbors feel the federal agency is not answering all the questions about the explosion and the aftermath.
About a half a dozen people in Roseland sat down with EPA agents Monday evening at First Baptist Church, all to share their questions and concerns about the Smitty supply explosion directly.
What are the questions that you asked the EPA today?
Well, one of the questions I asked, what do you have any idea
Wow.
what is their long-range effect?
See?
Couldn't give an answer.
Marvin Vernon was one of the many neighbors concerned about the chemicals that the EPA found in samples of soot and contaminated water after the explosion. On Friday, the EPA released a list of hazardous substances that were at the Smitty's facility, like motor oil, hydraulic fluids, and antifreeze.
The questions we are asking
Wow.
people, they're saying, that's a good question. Where's the answers?
I can't really speak to that, but we have a team that's kind of looking at, and that's also with the environment and also experts kind of throughout the region.
See, that's their, and just like New York, that's their game plan. They love to play dumb. They can't speak to nothing, but you went to college for this. You get paid for this. It's all by design, but their thing is to act dumb. They have to play dumb. That's it. They have to play dumb. But I know a way to get answers out of them. See, you gotta make them feel the same pain. I learned this about this country. You gotta make Caucasian people feel the same pain that you feel. However you take that, that's how you take it. They have to feel the same pain. That's the only thing they react to. They have to feel the same pain that you feel. I'm not putting out no threats or nothing. I'm just saying that's the only thing they respect. The same pain you feel, they have to feel. You seen what happened to your boy Charlie Kirk when that happened? Them motherfuckers lost their mind. But now they snap back into reality like, oh shit. Shit crazy, man. Or there are a lot of poor white people, folks, getting squeezed too. Exactly. That's why I say a lot of Caucasian people waking up. And see, that's their fear. Their own people turned against them. I talked about that in my video the other day. Their own people are turning against them, bro. What they meant to cause harm on black people, their own people are turning against them. They waking up from the matrix. See, that's the part they don't want. That's the part, but it's happening every day. What we see, mass shootings, church shootings, church bombings. Every day, bro. They slowly waking up, bro. They slowly waking up. Okay, so this was yesterday.
Nick Roth is the EPA's point man for the Smitty's cleanup efforts. He says the agency is still assessing how dangerous the substances are, but neighbors shouldn't be concerned about anything they might be breathing in.
And
Wow.
they're continuing to do air monitoring in there. We haven't seen anything that has gone past any of the limits that have been established.
And while the EPA tells us that they're committed to making sure that all the waterways around the area are cleaned up, but a lot of the neighbors are questioning whether the federal agency will help cleaning up this black residue still stuck on properties.
I'm not environmental certified. I'm not all cleanup crew, by no means.
And help the people out, because everybody don't have that type of insurance to come out and take care of that and clean that up.
Neighbors say even after washing away the soot, it still comes back. And they're concerned that with every wash or rainstorm,
Wow.
the runoff will contaminate more of the region.
My soil look My grass look black. My question is.
So look, listen to this. Your boy said that, it's nothing being breathed in that's dangerous. So you telling me those people not breathing in anything dangerous, but they keep washing their cars and the black soot is still in their cars? It won't come off. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The respiratory system, like all this stuff is sensitive, bro. What we breathe in is sensitive, bro. You telling me that they not breathing in nothing dangerous, but they keep washing their cars, they keep washing their homes, their grass, and the stuff is still stuck on their property. Bro, I'm telling you, the only thing they respect is what they give you. I ain't gonna put no threats out there. I'm just saying, you gotta match their energy, bro. That's what I've been learning throughout life. You have to match their energy. Shit crazy, man.
Is there anybody would come out and test our property? And they said they didn't do that. You know, they didn't test private properties.
Now, the EPA continues to say that there is no imminent health threat to any residue left behind from the explosion.
¿Ha tenido un accidente?
Shit crazy, man.
Residue in waterways around the Smitty Supply property in Roseland.
Look, this how you know it's people breathing in like bad chemicals. When the waters, the plants, the trees, when this stuff won't wash out. Bro, you know how sensitive our respiratory system, like this, all this shit is sensitive. If that's stuck on the grass, if it's stuck in the rivers, what you mean people not breathing in the stuff? But they not trying to get, well, they being sued. They protecting their ass. They don't care about your health. They protecting them because they really trying to take that land and build more chemical plants. That's it, bro. That's it. They don't want black people owning homes and owning land there. Having cattle, making money, while they could be making billions from chemical plants. Shit crazy, man. Look at the birth defects, facts. Cancer rate, yeah, they call it Cancer Alley, man.
Now Governor Landry says he's trying to speed up the cleanup of the area.
This
One
was
week after he first documented oily residue in
Look at
waterways
this.
near Smitty Supply, photographer Eric McVicker couldn't believe his pictures.
It was apparent to me that
Look at that shit. This the river, Tangible Hole River, bro. And like I told you, the river is the most important thing in these towns. The river is the most important thing, bro. And they know that. And look what they did to the river, bro.
not only no progress was made in terms of the cleanup, but it actually looked a little bit worse from when I went out this past Saturday to when I went out the weekend before.
McVicker went to social media to post the video showing the residue. It got the attention of the governor.
Good afternoon to the citizens of Louisiana. It's been over a month now that the Smitty's facility caught fire, devastating the town of Roseland.
This happened over a month. Now look at it. Now look at the river, bro. This is the Tangible Hole River, bro. Go do your research on the Tangible Hole River and how important it is, man. Go do your research.
It's severely impacting the citizens of Tangible
Look at that
Parish.
shit.
And over those 30 days, contractors contracted by EPA were supposed to be cleaning that up. And they're not going fast enough.
Now go back on my channel and watch the videos I did before. This is my first time seeing this, but I knew they was doing this. I knew they was gonna let this, the chemicals sit in that river. I knew, because they don't want the people fishing. People go fishing out there, bro. All the time, go fishing and catch their fish. That's how people eat. That's how they eat. That river, the river is important, bro, and they knew that. So they let the chemicals sit there on purpose. Dude said they're not moving fast enough. My dog, you are the governor of the state. What are you talking about? But his name is Jeff Landry. He got the face that makes you just wanna, you know how some people have that face, it makes you just wanna just shut up. He got that type of face. We're gonna watch a press conference. He did a press conference today. I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna watch it with y'all. But this happened like over a month ago, bro. He just doing a press conference today. But he has the face that makes you just want to, that's it, bro. Like, shut up. Shut up.
Tangipahoa Parish President Robbie Miller says the video was no surprise to him.
As bad as it looks, it's actually improving, but you know, with a long way to go.
The EPA.
Your boy said it's improving with a long way to go. Dude, are you watching what we watching?
Has set up containment boom on more than 30 locations along the Tangipahoa River's 50-mile run
What's
to the
poppin'?
lake.
What's poppin'?
Oily residue still lines some shorelines, and some have reported seeing oil sheen on the lake itself. Residents like McVicker worry.
I wasn't really sure if not just the surrounding community, but the state as a whole understands how bad this actually looks, and that's what I wanted to show. The governor actually was kind enough. He called me yesterday morning before he responded.
What's poppin', Louisiana?
We had a very productive conversation about it.
The governor said in a video posted on social media that he would contact the EPA about staying on the case, but the parish president says those conversations have been ongoing.
The boot,
Robbie
what's
Miller
poppin'?
says the EPA still has 300 people on the ground working on shoreline cleanup. And he says they've already removed 2 million gallons of oily substance.
Now, this was yesterday.
There's DIY.
This was yesterday. Hold on. This was all yesterday. Now, this happened over a month ago, right?
Alicia Maloney says her health has not been the same since the Roseland explosion more than a month ago.
I've been having headaches, my eyes burn. You can taste metal, like a metal taste in your mouth. Since then, I haven't been able to really
What's poppin'?
eat. It's my digestive system is completely messed up.
And she says the health of her farm in a meat is suffering too.
The 5 horses that were out during the rainstorm that night are not eating well. They're turning away from feed. We believe it's their livers and kidneys. I had 2 dogs a time.
She says her pond is lifeless.
I used to have snakes, birds, turtles, fish. There's nothing alive in the pond. Nothing alive in the pond.
Over near the Robert Hammond area, this property owner says the Tangipahoa River is the same.
Today is the first day that I've actually seen any minnows. My nephew hasn't seen any catfish. This sandbar is usually covered with animal tracks because a lot of animals.
You see, they trying to kill that whole area because they need that area for chemical plants. They need the water. They'll kill all that stuff. They go fix it up when they trying to build. That's it. They need the chemical plants. That's all they're trying to do, bro. That's all they're trying to do. And they don't see, like I say, Caucasian people are starting to wake up because they don't care about y'all either. If you're not wealthy and you Caucasian, they don't care about you. Somebody said it earlier. They don't care about the poor Caucasian people. They don't. But they finally starting to see that. See, we've been knowing that. We've been knowing that shit. But they just starting to wake up. So that's why you're seeing so many mass shootings every week, every week. That's why you're seeing that, because the dudes the Caucasian dudes who went to the army, who went to Iraq, and now they back 40 years old, 39 years old. Once you hit that 40-year-old like life, you start thinking about life, bro. I'm not 40 or whatever like that, but I know how it is as you get older. You start reflecting on life. So just imagine what Caucasian people going through when they thought they could have the American dream, and it just shattered. See, we've been through this country wasn't shit towards our people. We've been knew how the system was. They just now finding out. They just now finding out. This shit crazy, man. Big like Louisiana.
Drink out of the river, and I don't see any tracks today.
She says days after the explosion, the Tangipahoa River looked like this, with an oil-like substance and rainbow sheen. Today, while she says the water is clear, there are new clumps on the bottom that were black and now appear to have algae growing on them. She says those were not there before the fire. Alicia also says her pond has more decaying matter as well as algae floating on the top. Independent testing expert Scott Smith of Blue Shirt Justice League says he's going to have some results of his independent testing coming up around midweek. He's using words about ponds like concerning results and significant results. These concerns
There you
come
go.
as Governor Landry voiced his frustration Sunday with the pace of the cleanup.
And over those 30 days, contractors contracted by EPA.
Let's watch him.
Video shows that.
My question was, what was the effect?
All right, well, good afternoon. Look, I think I
It
first
ain't.
want to start off by stating that I have.
Now this was an hour ago. He did a press conference. Now I'm telling y'all, that incident happened almost 2 months ago, and now he's just doing a. These people ain't shit, bro.
Complete confidence in the team that President Trump has put in place over at EPA, from Administrator Lee Zeldin to the Region 6 Director Scott Mason.
What's poppin'?
And all of the folks from EPA Region 6 have confidence in them as well. I also want to give a big shout out to the past president, Robin Miller, lean in a little harder. And we're sure this is.
People's is cold blooded. Yeah, it's cold blooded, man.
Which is a Sunday.
And y'all, we'll get right after this little thing. We gonna get back to the New York and see what they saying about New York.
And again, I want to compliment Scott
Exactly.
Mason, because he picked up that phone on Sunday. That's the kind of quality of leadership was necessary. So again, I want to commend Scott Mason.
Bro, we are 4 minutes in. Bro, what are you talking about?
From breaching the ponds and the rivers. And we've deployed 22,400 feet of containment boom and 1,700 bales of sorbent pads that absorb these petroleum-based liquids. We have 194 frac tanks that are on site right now to collect all of the oily waste, which are being emptied every single day, and they're sent to an approved disposal facility. We've deployed over 300 EPA staff and contractors with crews that are working 24/7, literally around the clock.
You're lying.
We have also met with 250 members of this community in the field and at our regular open houses. EPA's mission is to protect human health and...
I finally understand this country, bro. What they do is they put certain people in power that are dumb as hell. The people are dumb as hell. They put them in power just as a face, but the people behind the scenes are doing the dirt, and they gaslight the people. That's all they do. They get on stage where you can't like ask them questions, talk back to them, and they gaslight the people. They tell you what they're doing. They read off a script what they're doing. They can't talk like this. They head always down. Look, bro, it's two people you don't trust. People that's always wearing shades all the time, whether it's daytime, nighttime, inside house. I'm talking about wearing shades is cool. Wearing them, you know, but 24/7, especially when it's talking about stuff serious, they can't look you in your eyes. They always looking down to read. No, I need you to look me in my eyes and tell me how you feel. Somebody need to run on these podiums. I'm talking about the president. They need to run on these podiums, take the paper, and make these people speak from the heart, bro. Make them speak from the heart. I'm tired of them just reading. Notice, every press conference you get, I don't care if it's Trump, I don't care who it is, they always reading off paper. That tells me they lying. They can't speak from the heart. They can't speak from the heart. They can't look America in the eyes. I'm gonna have to go back and look at John F. K videos. Did JFK, did he read off paper or did he speak from the heart? Because if he was speaking from the heart, that's probably why they popped him. I'm gonna have to go watch old videos of JFK and see that he speak from the heart. Because that's probably the reason why they popped him. And you can notice that with Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Fred Hampton. They didn't read from no goddamn paper. They spoke, bro. Go watch. Even though, like I say, Martin Luther King, he did wake up and he did stand on business. But go watch them. They spoke from the heart. Caucasian people can't do that. They gotta read from paper. All day. They can never just speak from the heart, speak to the people from the heart, bro. I noticed that with all of them. Every press conference you see, and that tells me they lying, bro. If you can't speak from the heart, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. If you can't look at America in their eyes and speak, you're lying. If you got to read off a paper, off a script, that means it's scripted. This is Hollywood. This is Hollywood. They all acting. You don't want no more president. The folks today definitely, let's see, can't speak from the heart if you're heartless. Damn, that's some real shit, Miss Rhonda. God damn. The world's a stage. That's facts. See, now I see why. Whoa, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense. All the people they popped that was speaking from the heart. Even, and look, this goes to show you that I'm not no black racist, bro. I can even say the racist dude, Charlie Kirk. Even though he was racist as hell, he was still able to speak and not read off a script. But he went off the script and he started talking about the people that control Trump. We'll call him Izzy. He started talking about them. See, he went off script. And I'm learning, once you go off script, they can't control you. They gotta get rid of you. They gotta get rid of you. No matter, that's why I say they don't care about Caucasian people. You have to kiss the ring. Okay, you racist, but you gotta go all the way. Charlie Kirk didn't go all the way. He went all the way with his racist talk on these college campuses, but he didn't kiss the ring. He didn't go all the way. So he was really a pawn. He was really a pawn and didn't even know it. He thought he was big and bad. See, Martin Luther King Jr., he knew he was going to get popped. He knew it. He knew it. Malcolm X, he knew it was going to happen. But that's why they spoke from the heart. Fred Hampton, at 19, 21 years old, spoke from the heart, dog. He spoke from the heart. Them people couldn't stand that because the whole time they reading our papers. They controlled. And I never seen JFK talk. I never seen John F. Kennedy talk. But the things I've heard was that he was going against the system too. And I'm pretty sure if I watch his videos, he probably was speaking from the heart. I never seen a video of him in my life. But he probably was speaking from the heart. In America, you can't speak from the heart, bro. When you with these people. So I said, sorry, so cute, appreciate you. But you can't speak from the heart when you're with these people. You can't. You gotta read off paper. Look at this dude, bro. Reading off paper, dog. Shit crazy. Don't be sorry. You're right.
And that is why,
appreciate y'all.
together with our state partners, the combined federal-state team has
Damn.
been able to evaluate potential impacts from the soot and oiling materials and
Yup.
provide science-based findings to the public. Based on soot sampling data, it
look.
was determined that there was no indication that soot posed a risk to public health.
Look.
EPA conducted.
And look, every 4 seconds he look up to try to make it seem like it's real. Look.
Upstream and downstream water sampling for water.
A bunch of exactly.
Downstream samples had an elevated presence of petroleum
Just robots.
as compared to the upstream
You see,
sample,
like,
which is to be
appreciate
expected.
y'all.
We've continued community air monitoring throughout the response.
Exactly.
And exceedances as well. We are also working with our state partners on soil sampling. The Louisiana Department of Agriculture and Forestry
See, look.
determined that there is no restriction for agriculture and livestock.
But you know who fall for this fake shit? Caucasian people. They fall for the whole propaganda. They fall for the whole propaganda. It's easy for them to fall for this shit. That's why they keep doing it. You go back in the past and look, they probably was reading off papers, doing the same thing they doing now. Nixon, all of them. They probably did the same thing they doing right now back then. But guess who was falling for it? Caucasian people. When our black leaders spoke, the Black Panther Party, the Black Liberation Army, Asada, even Tupac, when our black people talked, they didn't have to read from some paper. They spoke like this from the heart, in front of everybody. But they have to read on paper because guess what? They always lying. They have to stay on script. And when you go off script, they got to come for you. And that's what they did to all our leaders, Fred Hampton, Malcolm X, the whole Black Panther Party. The whole Black Panther Party. They either unalived them or they sent them to prison for life, told them that they was terrorists. But you have these Caucasian dudes crashing into churches with bombs, shooting up schools, and not one time they was charged as a terrorist. Not one time. They barely get first-degree murder. But Carmelo Anthony got first-degree murder right off the back at 17 years old. This shit crazy, bro. It's all scripted, dog. It's all scripted. And once you see it for what it is, like I say, now, slowly, Caucasian people are waking up from the Matrix. Slowly, they waking up. Slowly. But we been waking up. We been, they like to say woke or whatever. We been that. We been saw what it is. But now they want to say, oh, the rapture is coming. That's all you saw on TikTok the other day. Caucasian people, the rapture is coming. You think the rapture coming? You think whoever taking you? You think Jesus taking you? Y'all don't have to worry about no. And it was racist Caucasian people talking about the rapture coming. Look, y'all don't have to worry about the rapture. Jesus ain't taking y'all. Trust me. He gonna leave y'all right here. Y'all don't have to worry about a rapture. Well, you do, because you gonna be right here. So you do. Talking about a rapture like they about to get taken up. No, you're not. Like old boy said, no, you're not.
Livestock in the affected areas.
Exactly.
EPA also reviewed the soil data to determine if there is a risk to human health using long-term exposure
Listen.
for farmers and other outdoor workers in its risk analysis. All results are below EPA thresholds that would indicate increased risk to human health.
So he just said it's below, so it's not your health. You're not breathing in nothing bad. That's what they say. You're not breathing in anything bad. But the chemicals is still in the river. The chemicals is still on the trees and the grass. What are you talking about? If the chemicals is in the river, if the chemicals is still on the grass, if you washing your car and it don't come off, trust me, you breathing in all that shit. But they're not gonna tell you that. They're not gonna tell you that. They're gonna let time go by. You get cancer, you die off. They get your land, they get your house, and they build their chemical plants. They've been doing this. Look it up. It's called Cancer Alley in Louisiana. Look it up. Cancer Alley. They've been doing this shit, bro. This ain't nothing new. But people call me a black racist. Where I'm just giving my people the information of what they've been doing. See, after this Charlie Kirk situation, you saw a lot of black MAGAs, whatever you call them. They doing the same thing the white supremacists do. They manipulating Caucasian people. That's what they doing. Because you know how? I know it's true. When they go out in public, they don't have that MAGA hat on. They don't have that MAGA hat on when they go outside. But on YouTube, they will put that MAGA hat on. But when they go outside, now the only raccoon who did it was Anton Daniels. I would say he is a full-pledged raccoon. I can't say that about him. So he is the original. He is the original raccoon. I can't say that. But everybody else after him, I'm not buying it, bro. If you don't wear that hat outside, I'm not buying it. Wear that hat outside. Then you showing me something. I see you advocate for your community. I don't agree with everything, but I see you. Oh yeah, man, you got to. People just want to go through life and just act like stuff not happening because it's not happening to them. I don't move like that. If it affects my people, it affects us all. You feel me? Because you don't see Caucasian people talking about these church shootings. They're not talking about these school shootings. They never talk about it. But they'll talk about black on black. I was like, how ironic. You could talk about black people all day, but you're not talking about what's going on in your community. You don't see no Caucasian people on Facebook, on Instagram, or on YouTube talking about what they people are doing every day. Now on TikTok, I can say, TikTok, they be calling them out. Them white people. Matter of fact, I got a video dropping tomorrow. Y'all gonna love this one.
Think about our first principles. Think about our underlying assumptions. And
you don't have no
That's
principles.
great news. But we know we have a lot more work to do. 2 weeks ago, EPA put together a task force of experts to ensure that we are doing
Exactly.
our cleanup in the most efficient and productive manner. And on Monday, as the governor noted, along with the state of Louisiana, together we identified those additional measures I'll describe in detail here in a moment. But since the beginning of this response, we have worked to reduce oily waste in the ponds. In late August, there was around 18 inches of oily material in those ponds, and currently there is about 1/4 of an inch of oily materials, which is a significant reduction.
Lying.
Which we've measured as the amount of oily material that we've removed.
Lying.
4 million gallons to date. That's the equivalent. Think about this. That is the equivalent of 6 Olympic-sized swimming pools. And we will continue to do so until our cleanup efforts.
Okay, we got enough for him.
I think it's really
Hold on. Let's.
really important for us to note that we've been relying on drone footage to help us to identify.
Thank you. Again, I want to thank all of the EPA personnel that are here today because they're...
See, I told y'all, he has the face that you just wanna. He got that face. Him right there, the governor of Louisiana, bro. He got that face you just wanna. Like, you just wanna just one good time. That's the face he got, bro. That's the face he got. He be on Facebook. Look him up, bro. His name is Jeff Landry on Facebook, bro. He be gaslighting, bro. Bro, this is a real life racist dude, bro. It's crazy how he be gaslighting and uproaring. Like, he ignite the racist people, bro. So right now, he just requested 1,000 National Guards from Donald Trump to come to New Orleans. 1,000 to come to New Orleans. When crime is down, right? Yeah, you still got some crime going on in New Orleans, but for the most part, it's down. So this tells you if you gotta request 1,000 National Guards, that means you failed as a governor. That means you failed. You're stupid. But I gotta tell you, bro, a lot of these officials in Louisiana, they are dumb, bro. Look at him. He got that dumb face. This is a dumb dude, bro. When I say dumb, bro. He requested 1,000 National Guards to come to, and all he do, bro, is he stay on his knees for Trump, bro. If you know, you know. He stay on his knees, bro. I'm like, dude, wipe your mouth. Wipe your mouth, dude. Get off your knees. Like, he really, bro, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, dog.
Is, as Scott mentioned, a government shutdown that certainly could be fixed in the United States Senate if people would just...
He's a mutt, exactly.
These are the types of activities that the federal government needs.
Yep, I did.
I want to thank those employees that are here today. I know how nerve-wracking it is. I went through a couple of government shutdowns when I was in Congress. So again, thank you as well. Again, I want to thank the...
The thing about the government shutdown is the president still get paid and the people with Congress, they still get paid, but nobody else get paid. You see how this shit work, bro? This shit crazy, man. This shit crazy. At the first of the month, and I think you work for the government, you get paid every week. So how people go pay their rent? How people go pay their mortgage or whatever? You know how times is. Every check counts. And they gonna do it on the 1st, when you know you need the money. On what today is, Wednesday, so they get paid on the 3rd. A lot of people gonna pay their rent or whatever on the 3rd. You see? Yeah, Trump get paid. The president still get paid and Congress still gets paid. But if you work for the government, you don't get paid. Shit crazy, bro. Shit crazy. So they do it on the first when you gotta pay your rent, when you gotta pay your mortgage. You see how this shit work, bro? You see the game this shit is? It's a game, dog. They just want to check to kiss the ring so they don't catch the smoke. That's it. That's it. Shit crazy, bro.
Parish, President Robert Miller, the council, all of the parish employees here who have been working diligently, the DEQ employees, the contractors, as both Robbie and Scott says, there's a lot of dirty work that's going on out there. I also want to say thanks to the citizens out there for you know, like Eric did, like showing videos out there and showing us where we might have some deficiencies. That's okay too. In any plan, you don't get it right the first time, and what is important is that we recognize any deficiencies that we may have. We made the adjustments, and we're going to get this place cleaned up, and we're going to get the town of Roseland back up in the condition that it was prior to this incident. And with that, we'll take any questions. I guess we'll go from left to right. Hold on, we'll go from hold on. We're gonna go in nice order. We're gonna go in nice order. There you go. You go first.
Introducing our exclusives.
Two fangs on the same snake. That's it, man. That's it. That's all it is, bro.
Signature collection.
The war general, they probably. Oh yeah. I will talk about that too. Hold on. Let's get back to this. Let's get back to New York.
You're watching The Loop on ABC 7 New York.
Let's get back to New York right quick. Oh.
And I want to just show you, this is 205 Alexander Avenue. This is the NYCHA Mitchell houses. And the first call came in around 8 o'clock this morning for a loud boom. And we just got dramatic video from a viewer's adjacent window. You can see dust, smoke, chunks of debris, bricks from this building spilling out from the sides just in the moments following this collapse. Chopper 2 showing the aftermath, the gaping hole along the side of the building. You can see as well firefighters, rescue crews sifting through the rubble below. The initial reports came in as a possible gas explosion. Officials now believe the incident involved the chimney and ventilation shaft connected to the boiler room. A partial structural collapse inside this 20-story building. Now, luckily, officials confirming no one was hurt. Many residents had already left for work. Children were in school when this happened. We are told there have been evacuations. This is a 20-story building. It's about 40 units impacted. We know many residents also self-evacuated after hearing the boom and feeling the shake. And early this morning, we spoke to many out in the streets, some still in their pajamas. Here's what residents and officials had to say.
We ran our dogs over this pile of bricks that is behind us, which is the structure that collapsed. It is a ventilation shaft connected to the boiler.
Over the next several hours, as inspectors are in the building, we will do everything possible to make sure that we minimize the disruption and the anxiety of the residents and the families here in this working class community.
The fuse was very, very thick and very dark. We heard a loud boom, and the thing was exploded and it fell down, just like that.
I'm looking and they're like this. Get out the building's collapsing. So me and my son, I just grab him, I go. I see people in the hallway, they running, they leaving everything.
Now back out here, crews crews are going apartment to apartment to make sure and check if they are structurally sound. Meanwhile, a temporary assistance center has been set up at 210 Alexander Avenue. That is for residents who have been evacuated. And back on the ground, police shut down, I'd say it's nearly a 10-block radius. The mayor urging everyone to stay away until these inspections are complete. Engineers checking out the complex. Officials telling us they will have a clearer picture of the extent of the damage later this afternoon and whether or not residents will be able to attend. That's the latest here. Natalie Duddridge, CBS News, New York.
Natalie, thank you.
Live from Fox 5, welcome to the News Block.
And here are the top stories on the news block today. Terrifying moments in the Bronx. Take a look at that. Part of a NYCHA building collapsing into a pile of rubble. We are live on the scene with the very latest on this. And billions of dollars in funding for the 2nd Avenue subway and the Hudson River Tunnel project now in jeopardy as the Trump administration puts that money on hold. And with the government shut down.
Which is what was happening with the chimney stack when people inside the building felt their building shake, all of it coming crashing down. This is a 20-story building with over 170 apartments, and given how tall that chimney was above the building, parts of it crashed more than 20 stories below. Now, people ran for their lives down the stairs. Emergency units came flying and searching for people to see if they were trapped, or worse, they used cadaver dogs. They went over surveillance video, but in what is being described as a miracle out here by people who live here and city officials is the fact that there's not a single injury as a result of this. Kids were already in school.
All at once. That's it.
We just can't imagine how it would have been different. But the building was evacuated, and buildings department investigators have been going from floor to floor, checking for cracks to assess the structural integrity of the building. Now, 2 rows of apartments lining the chimney are a key concern. That's more than 40 apartments there. And city officials pointing out today that October 1st today makes it the day that heat is turned on in city buildings. And they also confirmed to Fox 5 that work was being done on the boiler currently, which is at, as I said, the base of that chimney where it collapsed. We spoke with the city's deputy mayor of public safety, Kaz Daughtry, who told us someone cadaver dogs, they went over surveillance video, but in what is being described as a miracle out here by people who live here and city officials is the fact that there's not a single injury as a result of this. Kids were already in school, and we just can't imagine how it would have been different. But the building was evacuated, and buildings department investigators have been going from floor to floor, checking for cracks to assess the structural integrity of the building. Now, 2 rows of apartments lining the chimney are a key concern. That's more than 40 apartments there. And city officials pointing out today that October 1st today makes it the day that heat is turned on in city buildings. And they also confirmed to Fox 5 that work was being done on the boiler currently, which is at, as I said, the base of that chimney where it collapsed. We spoke with the city's deputy mayor of public safety, Kaz Daughtry, who told us someone from NYCHA was actually in the boiler room when this explosion went off.
That there was a NYCHA representative down there that was starting the boiler. And it seemed like when he turned on the boiler, which is preliminary, this is still under investigation. This is very preliminary. That there was some sort of malfunction when the boiler was turned on that caused this accident behind us.
Somebody was downstairs in the boiler when this ignited and got a sense that it was time to get out.
That they heard the explosion, and immediately the person ran for cover, ran out of the building as it would happen, and then when he went, see what happened outside.
Sounds exactly. Bingo.
Multiple 911 calls that came in.
Bingo.
Now, a lot of residents are out here right now waiting to see if they can go in either to retrieve their belongings or to just go back into their apartments and resume their...
Just imagine today you about to pay your rent, you about to pay your mortgage or whatever. Some people probably already paid their stuff, like soon as 12 o'clock hit, because, it's people that pay their bills, they pay their rent, they pay their mortgage or whatever, soon as 12 o'clock hit, so we can get it out the way. So there's people who already paid their shit already, and this happened. Think about that. But I can say the best thing to the people who didn't pay their rent, keep your money. Keep your money. Keep that money you had, because you gonna need that. Because they playing games. They playing games with our people. Keep that rent money. Keep that rent money. This might be a little blessing. Keep that rent money.
You might hear hear a buzzing sound behind me. That's some heavy equipment that's been coming in. One of the main walls is still there. They're going to have to knock that down, and that bridge is connected to the building, so they're going to have to do it very carefully. How long that takes, nobody knows. And one final point, Linda, this building, the boiler supplies the heat for everybody in this NYCHA complex. 3 massive buildings on this side and more on that side, which means heat and hot water for the time being interrupted to everybody inside this massive complex. The city's also working on seeing how they can get that reconnected and back up and running for the people who live out here. That's the latest from this side of the building in Mod Haven in the Bronx. Arthur Trian, Fox 5 News. Linda, back to you.
Arthur, that is something else. Talk about lucky today. All right, now we're going to bring in Antoine Lewis, who has been talking to
All right, Charles,
residents
let's,
of the Mitchell houses.
I want to talk about something too before I go. Hold up. It's the war, dude. I think it's the war. This is my TikTok right here, y'all. Security of war, that's what it is. He said something yesterday that I want to talk about before I go.
And since waging war is so costly in blood and treasure, we owe our republic a military that will win any war we choose or any war that is thrust upon us. Should our enemies choose foolishly to challenge us, they will be crushed by the violence, precision, and ferocity of the War Department. That's why pacifism is so naive and dangerous. It ignores human nature and it ignores human history. You see, this urgent moment, of course, requires more troops, more munitions, more drones, more Patriots, more submarines, more B-21.
This is the Secretary of War. Hold on, let me get somebody to explain it, what you said.
What's up, y'all? I see a lot of people talking about what the Secretary of Defense talked about today, and I'm just breaking it down for y'all a little bit. You know what I'm saying, for my military folks. You know, make it simple so you ain't got to watch the whole video. So this is what he said. I'm just paraphrasing what he said. Pretty much, if you got a beard, get out my goddamn military. If your back big, get out my goddamn military. If you're a woman and you're not built like a man, get out my goddamn military. If you're gay, get out my goddamn military. What do you say? I'm just paraphrasing. If you ever dealt with sexual assault, racism, or any kind of discrimination, and you try to tell on somebody, get out my goddamn military. And, what else? Oh yeah, he say last but not least, if you fat, got a beard, and gay, you probably gonna get shot. That's just what he said. I'm just paraphrasing. This is what I took from it. Use this information as you will. Retirement gonna get me. Oh yeah, got me. But yeah.
He said retirement gonna get him.
Yeah, man. I'm telling y'all something. Get y'all money, your schooling, benefits, and disability. Get the fuck out.
That's basically. Hold on.
What's up?
It's a white woman who explained this shit well, bro. Hold up. I want y'all to hear what she said. Hold up. She said something perfectly fine, bro. Like, I was like, damn. Hold up. There we go.
I know why good old Pete only wants Caucasian men in the military. They're the easiest to manipulate. Don't want to be training up those who have had to overcome adversity. Absolutely not. But white men, they've never had to deal with it. They don't even know that they're being oppressed. So they'll just blindly follow. Why good old Pete only wants Caucasian men in the military. They're the easiest to manipulate. Don't want to be training up those who have had to overcome adversity. Absolutely not. But white men, they've never had to deal with it. They don't even know that they're being oppressed. So they'll just blindly follow.
See? That's why now they really just want their people in the army. And I say, hey, give it to them. Give it to them. Like she said, Caucasian men, bro, they are the easily, like you can easily manipulate them, bro. Easily, bro. Easily. They always talk about black people this. No, bro. Look at the dudes who's shooting up the churches. Look at the dude who's shooting up the schools. Look at the mass shootings. This is dudes who've been on the internet, listen to all this shit, and like, yeah, this country, bro, they easily manipulated, bro. It's a bunch of copycats, bro. They doing the same thing. Watch, tomorrow, this weekend, it's gonna be, God forbid, but let's be real. It's gonna be another mass something, shooting, bombing, but it's gonna be their people. It's gonna be Caucasian versus Caucasian, bro. A bunch of copycats, bro. Now you see people dressing like Tyler Robinson, the dude who popped Charlie Kirk. Bro, they don't have their own self-identity, bro. That's why you see the dudes going on the HBCU schools like copying Charlie Kirk. They copying him. They copying because they don't have their own self-identity, bro. That's why people copy black people all the time, bro. That's why they copy our culture. They copy our lingo. They copy whatever, bro. Because they don't have their own self-identity, bro. They don't. Come on, Therapy Plus. So, hey, I say give them their army back. But I appreciate everybody, man, for the live. Appreciate all the super chats. I appreciate everybody, man. This was a great live, man. Damn, this is a great live. Tomorrow I got a video dropping. And this video will be amazing, bro. Because now you're going to see Caucasian people calling out Caucasian people. So tomorrow, that video dropping out. Facts, they do. They are followers. Yeah, they followers, bro. All they got to do is watch a movie or a documentary, bro. Or have one Caucasian leader, bro. And they go copy whatever they did, bro. They go copy. They go wear the same clothes. They go do whatever they did, bro. That's why you're seeing so many mass shootings, because it's copycats. They don't have no identity, bro. They easy to control. But they don't see it. They don't think they getting bamboozled. They don't think they in the Matrix. They in the Matrix. Do you always? Hey, I appreciate everybody, man. Tomorrow we got video dropping. Thank y'all for joining this live, man. Thank y'all. I had to put that work in today. And like I say, I'm going to start going live more and more, dropping videos. And October, new month, new energy. I'm out, FBA. Hey, I love y'all. I'm out.